Wellity. I've been so distracted with Pokemon stuff for the last month that I completely missed Breath of the Wild 2 leaks. Fortunately, lots of other people were also busy, distracted with something else, and these videos that currently exist for this, up to 4 weeks ago, don't really have that many views. So hopefully I'll be able to be here to fill you guys in on some Breath of the Wild 2 leak news. Now, let's start at the beginning. What we're going to be talking about is possible leaks from Nintendo themselves, detailing their release strategy for this game, the release date, the title, and some gameplay details. Guys, ever since their trailer, we've been wanting more. Just straight up more, dude. I'm hungry for this game, but the reason we haven't really been hearing much from it is because it's likely quite a while off yet. So, first of all, let's just cut the foreplay and let's just make this a nice, neat, tidy, short video. Basically, there's a 4chan user named Zyle, who is no longer there, by the way. It's gone. Obviously, 4chan regularly deletes posts after a while, and this is a little old, so it's gone. That's nothing unusual there. It doesn't dispel the leaks. It actually could be related to DMCA takedown and all that stuff as well, which has been going out recently for Pokemon 2. It looks like their release strategy is going to be to tie it with the Switch 2, the rumored Switch 2, which is supposed to have 4K resolution and is supposed to be exclusively a home console, which is kind of what I want, actually. I'm hoping for a dedicated home console with a bit more power and smack to it. Now, obviously, the incredible success of Breath of the Wild 1 with the normal Switch was so phenomenally successful. It completely carried their Switch for so long. They'd be crazy not to do the same thing again with the next game. But the problem with that is the year for that release is 2021, and that's going to be January 2021 according to this leak. A video demonstration was shown with Zelda Breath of the Wild at 60 FPS 4K running on a Switch 2 prototype to members of the entire marketing department. In addition, a short gameplay demo, about 10 minutes, of the new Zelda game, Zelda Breath of the Darkness, the title by the way, Breath of the Darkness, is also shown. A battle is then shown where Link and Zelda fight together against a dark guardian in underground ruins, highlighting how Zelda helps Link by assisting him in the battle by protecting him with a dazzling light when he is in trouble, and highlighting the enemy's weaknesses. I can very well imagine how this goes. It sounds very similar to something we saw in Ocarina of Time, where actually it wasn't protecting Link, rather Zelda was actually opening Ganon to a final blow, weakening him with her rays. She also had a role similar to that, fighting alongside Link in the Wind Waker, in the final boss fight, where she was used to reflect arrows, or where she fired light arrows or something like that. I kind of forget, it's been a while. And yeah, so we're no strangers to fighting alongside Zelda, but obviously in this case it's not Ganon, it's Dark Guardian in the underground ruins. So everything's been flipped. It looks like we're going to have quite a bit of underground gameplay. We're going to have dark style enemies according to this leak. Of course, according to the leak, you know, you got to take everything with a bit of salt, and it is a very early stage. They're still hiring for very important positions to develop this game, so it's by no means decided yet. Even if they have demos for this 10 minutes worth of gameplay, there's no way to tell if that's the sort of stuff that's going to make it into the end of the game. We can't tell for that. The game will be officially released along with the launch of the new Switch 2 and will be one of the first Nintendo games to exploit the potential of the new console. Okay, so that's pretty much all the meat of the leaks, and here's the January 21 release for the Switch 2. It's close to the same sort of strategy, which was March 3rd for the original Breath of the Wild and the Switch coming out together, so that was pretty sweet. However, obviously this article does mention that it's a little odd post-holiday. However, I always expect delays for this, so even though it says January 2021, that's going to be a very, very loose projection from the marketing department or development department or whatever you have in Nintendo, if it's even real. And as the years go by, that's going to get pushed further and further and further, so we could even possibly be looking at a summer release or even a Christmas release date in 21. And I mean, I made a video on this, possible theorizing the release date a while back, and I did theorize 2021 as a more realistic expectation. A lot of fans are hungry for it now though, so they're all going to be saying, oh, 2020, they're going to be getting hopes up in their videos or in the thumbnails. 2020 is a possibility. No, no way, no way. So they're suggesting that a new console means Nintendo could make Breath of the Wild 2 bigger and more immersive than before. I certainly hope so. I know they're using the same engine and a lot of the same assets is to be expected. However, it should really build on what they gave us for Breath of the Wild. So as you might not have known, they actually really saved a lot of space for Breath of the Wild on its performance by reusing only, what was it, 4 or 5 different enemies in the world with different skins. That was essentially it, and that's excluding like mini bosses and stuff, and there weren't really that many of those anyway. So it was a rehash of very few assets that were actually just used to populate the world, and we didn't really notice. We didn't really notice how cheap that was. And I mean, not to say that it's cheap, the game was amazing. That's something that I expect that they could build on if this is a dedicated home console like the leaks suggest, with a lot more power. That's certainly something I would hope. Of course, we do know from previous interviews about this game that they wanted to be like as dark or darker than Majora's Mask, according to the lead guys over at Nintendo actually making this, so that's to be expected. So it wouldn't be too far-fetched to have the title Breath of the Darkness. Of course, I mean, so early still, so these things are all completely subject to change if they're even true. So leaks versus real information here hardly have a difference at this point in its development, because the leaks could be fake, but then also the real information could also change completely. So you gotta keep that in mind. But another part of the leak was that Zelda could be a playable character. A lot of people were suggesting or hoping for that, and that'd be very interesting. A companion that helps Link throughout his journey. You know what? Zelda would be a breath of fresh air from the likes of Fi or Navi. I think having Zelda there is just, that's it. That's the pinnacle of a Zelda game. Zelda is our companion. After all this time, we finally are together doing this, doing our mission, right? We're finally playing as Zelda. So the leak also suggests that there might be a reusing of the assets, which obviously makes sense from a data point of view. The game is going to be so big in scale that reusing the same assets in a certain way, maybe a rehash again, so like a Dark Guardian, a reskinned version, would be completely the MO of Nintendo. It completely fits with how they develop games, and it would work for this game. It would make a early 2021 release date pretty viable as well. I'm just hoping they don't kind of let us down and really skimp too much. I'm hoping they add just enough to keep us satisfied. If they fall under that, it could spell some bad news for the game's reviews and performance in sales. That's the only thing. So hopefully Nintendo do know that. I mean, they are doing much better as a company now financially than they were before. I feel like they're getting a little comfortable with the feeling of saving money, and saving time and saving work. So hopefully they don't do that with their main big titles like this. So let me know what you guys thought of this leak, and if you've heard any other news regarding this, it'd be very interesting to hear about that. This is the first I've heard of it today, so I just wanted to pass it on to you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!